Hi, this is Or from Matia. Matia is your unified dataops platform that seamlessly combines data ingestion, reverse ETL, observability, and catalog all in one cohesive solution. That means that you can architect end-to-end data pipelines from ingestion to activation with comprehensive observability built into every step, allowing your data team to stay focused on strategic priorities rather than juggling multiple tools. Here's a quick look at how Matia works. Right here on our main dashboard, you get a full view of all of your connected data assets and pipelines, as well as the overall health of the underlying data. Let's jump straight into integrations. Right here, I can see all the data pipelines I have set up in this environment. We see both ETL and reverse ETL pipelines. Let's jump straight into a Postgres integration, throwing data into Snowflake. Right here, we see all the individual recent syncs, as well as how many streams, tables, that is, were integrated within each sync, how many clients were running, and how many records were actually emitted into Snowflake. If we click this sync, we can see stream level data showing me individual record counts for each stream, as well as the volume and basically how long it took to transfer each table. Every time Matia syncs data, it also detects schema changes within your source. Right here, if we go into the schema changes tab, we can actually see each time a schema change event was detected. In one of my most recent syncs, we can see how in a specific stream called customer feedback, I had two fields, two columns that were added, one field that was removed, and two columns where we had the type of the data changed. Now, let's shift gears and see how Matia lets you run reverse ETL integrations. And instead of reviewing an existing integration, let's see how we would go about creating a new one. We'll go ahead and go back to our integrations page. Click Add Integration. And right here, we can see a list of all the various connectors Matia supports. Now, every week we're adding new ones, so if you're in need of a unique connector, make sure to reach out to us. With the help of our detailed guides, connecting a new connector is easy and straightforward. But for now, let's go ahead and go with a couple of existing connectors I already have set up in this environment. I'll choose Connect Existing. Go ahead and click Snowflake to be my source and HubSpot to be my destination. At this stage, I need to configure my integration. First, we need to choose a trigger type. When will this integration run? We can have it run manually, or we can select a specific cadence, or even integrate it with my dbt Cloud to run every time a dbt Cloud job finishes running. Let's choose every 6 hours. At this point, I want to configure the model, basically what data I want to pull from my Snowflake and have it sync into HubSpot. I'll go ahead and paste SQL query I already have prepared in advance. We'll click Preview Model. And right here, we can see the data coming from my Snowflake source. We can see 86 rows were detected. At this point, we'll choose a destination object. What type of object do we want this data to go into within HubSpot, within my destination? We'll go ahead and choose Contact. Now I can select a sync mode, and I'm ready to start mapping the fields from my Snowflake into HubSpot. We'll go ahead and choose Email as my primary key. Instead of doing the field mapping one by one, we'll click Auto Mapping and see that Matia already mapped the fields I wanted into the fields I'm looking to ingest it to move data into HubSpot. We'll click Run Test in order to validate my settings. Right now, Matia is fetching a random record from the source, trying to push it into the destination. We see that the test was completed successfully, and now we're ready to save this new integration. And already we're ready to run our initial sync. Instead of waiting for this to finish, let's go ahead and take a look at an existing reverse ETL integration. Here we can see a similar integration that is running. The most recent sync finished an hour ago. And if I click this, I can actually see all the individual records that were synced successfully into HubSpot. What's more, if we scroll down and find a sync that finished with errors, that might have some records that were rejected by HubSpot due to a mistake, we can actually see detailed information regarding those as well. So if a record was rejected by HubSpot, I can go ahead and here and see that an email was invalid. I can even see the individual response given from the HubSpot API explaining that the email was invalid. Having all this data go through our warehouse is great, but we want to make sure we're monitoring everything effectively. At Matia, we're looking to shift data observability left. We believe that the ability to monitor pipelines and detect anomalies should be baked into your platform. So instead of having to integrate these pipelines with another tool, Matia trains individual ML models for each one of my tables to automatically monitor my data warehouse for freshness, row count, and schema changes as soon as the data is ingested. But on top of these out-of-the-box monitors, we can also set up custom monitors to enhance visibility into specific metrics. Let's see some of these custom monitors in action. We'll go to our observability page where we can see a bunch of the custom monitors I already have set up in this environment. We'll choose nullness as an example. Here we see an orders table and more specifically an order ID column being monitored for nullness. The threshold we're looking for here is being detected automatically by a machine learning algorithm running in the background. Here we are expecting a value of between 0 and 1.53%. And we see that the monitor is currently healthy, even though we've had a couple of recent anomalies detected, where we can see that the value rose to 2%. Let's see how we would go about creating a new custom monitor. We'll go back to our observability page, click Add Monitor, and search for a specific data asset we want to monitor. For this one, I'll choose unit price within an orders table I have in my warehouse. Right now, we see a list of potential monitor types we can use for a custom monitor. For this example, I'll go with custom SQL. At this point, I can configure my monitor, choose a name, an anomaly detection approach, and a bunch of additional settings. We'll leave the name as is, but for anomaly detection, I want to choose a manual threshold. I actually want to be alerted anytime the value falls below 10. So I'll insert 10 here, and I actually don't need a maximum here. I'll paste my SQL query and choose a frequency. Hourly is okay. Let's test the query to make sure everything is set up correctly. And the query ran successfully and returned a value of 11. We'll go ahead and create the monitor. We can see it right here. And we can see that it just ran. Indeed, it returned 11, and it is healthy. Okay, this was a lightning fast tour showing you only some highlights of Matia. If you want a more customized demo or to start a free trial, please reach out to us on matia.io, and we hope to chat with you soon.